H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, but we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and it's Tuesday. Great Tuesday. Let me tell y'all something. In an hour, y'all might need to want to share this show. And bringing a unique guest on this show shortly, and it's a great first time we ever had a guest with these credentials on this show ever. And he's got a book out, and the book is to help us people with kids. I can't wait to introduce him a little bit later, but this is if you know somebody who's thinking about it, got a young man or daughter playing sports, this gonna be the day that you need to make sure you got your notepads out and all that good stuff. And let me tell you, it could be real good. It could be real good. And who I'm talking about? He's Googleable. Talking about Greg Nard. Greg Nard, he is the senior vice president for the Dallas Mavericks. We on this show, we've never had a senior vice president of an NBA franchise. There ain't but 30 of them. And senior vice president is going to come on the Chop Shop and share some time with us today. And I'm going to introduce him a little bit later. But Greg Nard, Nared, he got a new book out called The Ultimate Assist. The Ultimate Assist. And I'll tell you a little bit more about it. That's all I'm going to give you. You can Google him. But let me tell you something. It's going to be epic. It's going to be epic. Rick Brown. Rick Brown. Thank you, Rick Brown. You know what? Thank you, Rick Brown. Thank you. That's all I got to say. Thank you, Rick Brown. Hey man, let me we're gonna get back. We're gonna get back to that. You know, we can talk about Cam. I didn't want to be right, Karen Roach. This time I did not want to be right, but I just know how this thing works. Mark Edwards, you're a bad man. I know how this thing works, man. And I just want to share something with y'all, right? Cam Newton's check this out, y'all. Cam Newton's personal decision to not be vaccinated has opened the door for Bill Belichick to make a personal decision to entrust the starting job to Mac Jones, especially with Jones performing very well in them joint practices last week. Yes, Cam Newton is I mean, he's out of a job. But he did post some, and I got it for y'all. He posted some on it on something on one of his let me see what Cam did. He did post this and said, I really appreciate all the love and support during this time, but I must say, don't feel sorry for me. I'm good. I like that, Cam. I like that. And I hope yeah, yeah, you should be good. You should be good. I mean, what y'all think? His days were numbered. Uh 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 oh my God. All I'm saying is this guy, the best ability is availability in this league. You don't have a right to play in this league. It's a privilege to play in this league. And some of y'all who are fans, you'll never get it. And I understand you get it. Some of you fans get mad at players because they leave a city. The hell you mad at somebody for leaving and going somewhere else for? I mean, it's kind of weird. Ain't nobody said nothing to you when you left your job and went somewhere else. I mean, you was all right. No, I don't think it was because Uga. I don't think it was because he did not get vaccinated. But guess what? That's what the risk. A lot of players, y'all, over the next couple of days. I mean, wait a minute. As of the end of the day, they got to finalize these rosters. If you were an owner, see, sometimes get out of your fandom and turn around and say, well, let me think about being let me think about that right now. Let me think about being a owner right now. All of my resources and my money and everything is on the line. And we have a policy. Look, it's your personal decision. You can get vaccinated, but guess what? For us to have this season, we can't have you being unvaccinated and you come and hurt out other players who are. I mean, we can't have that. We can't have that. So you choose. You making a personal decision? Okay. All right. Okay. I got you. And it's okay. Listen, I ain't mad about it. I knew the ramifications. I knew stuff like this. That's why I mentioned it the other day. I didn't want it to be Cam. I love Cam. But somebody said the Cowboys need a quarterback. Oh my God, y'all need to quit. But what y'all think about that? It's a unique situation. I just thought about that stuff, man. Just that shout out to Walter Yates. I'm gonna read something for him. And let me tell you something. Let me read what Walter Yates posted. It's one of ours. I look out for ours. Uh, he said, my father always taught me to bet on me. He says it's been a lifelong dream of mine to one day become an NCAA head coach, Division I head coach. This is a major step in achieving that goal. I accepted the call to coach at Elevation Prep in Fort Wayne, Indiana, playing on a national top 25 schedule with high major players, will open the door to make my dreams a reality. I'm betting on me. See you at the top. Shout out to Walter Yates. And now he gonna be open up to a whole lot of people. You know how he be messing with everybody else? He gonna be open himself up to scrutiny. Like he be talking about the college coaches now he's gonna be trying to get in that place. Now I understand why he had so much commentary about college coaches because hey, I never knew he had aspirations to be a Division I head coach, and ain't but 350 of those jobs on the planet. I'm gonna repeat that again. Only 350 of them, 52 or 53 of those jobs on the planet. And just like it's hard to get on the team, it's hard to be a Division I head coach. You have to, boy. You have to be. But thank y'all for congratulating him Maybe I mean, well, he'll be a coach at a prep school. He'll be able to still tune in to the chop shop, but it's unique. It's a great day, man. I like to celebrate when one of our guys. He said that's his dream, and he get a chance to do his dream. Roberts had it. You said the New Orleans felt really felt. Hey, I didn't want to be right. Joe Baldridge. I didn't want to be right about Cam. Cam is. I love Cam Newton. I like to be around him. He's a cool dude. I love him. He just didn't forecast the climate of what's going on in the NBA this year. Excuse me, NFL this year. Last year he was out with COVID. This year he was out doing some stuff. If he just went back to New England instead of going somewhere else, he wouldn't have to be under that COVID protocol. So yeah, he said don't feel sorry for him. Let me put that back on to people. Share the show right now because I got a great guest coming on at 12:30. A guest that ain't a get. We ain't never had a guest like this on our show ever before. We got a senior vice president of an NBA team is going to be on the chop shop at 12:30 in a few minutes. So I'm just letting y'all know. Share the show. Get your friends. He got a book out called The Ultimate Assist, where the ultimate assist is going to be great. I mean, I've been reading. Wait till I tell y'all who the forward by and who made some comments on the book. Michael Jordan had a comment in the book. Phil Knight had a comment in the book. And I tell y'all, this is a 30-year friendship with me and this guy. 30-some years. When I got into the business with Penny, he was Penny's players relation. He worked for Nike, and he was the one that made sure whatever Penny needed, he got it. So me and this guy was so close. We were everywhere together. I've told y'all some stories about him. I mean, I think I even told y'all about the time we was in LA and Whitney Houston had a party. I think it was one of them Soul Train Awards. This one, Whitney Houston had a party at the what's the name of that place? The House of Blues. And when I tell you, the VIP line was wrapped around the corner, not the regular line, because I guess regular people couldn't get in. But you had players, you had entertainers, everybody in this line. Guess what? Me, Charles Woodson, Ty Law, Anthony Dorsett, we were in this line. But you know how I am. I'm not standing in no line. So I said, man, I'm not standing down there, everybody. We go up by the top. We just go up by the top. I don't know why I did this. I promise you I don't know why I did it. I'll never forget this door the car pull up, limo, whatever pull up, and out jumps this Greg Nard, Tiger Woods. Remember I told y'all this story? They wasn't letting nobody in. Nobody. Shanquetta, nobody. Guess what? Greg got out and said, Bobby. He called me Bobby, y'all. So y'all get used to it. He might call me Bobby today. He said, Bobby, what's going on? I said, man, that's the line we supposed to be in. He said, nah, don't worry about that. All of a sudden, about 20 bodyguards, security came out of this where I was standing, because everybody else was down the hill. If you ever been on Sunset, you go the front way, you have to go down the hill to the House of Blues. But we were on top. So, and guess what? Those guys just ushered us in like we were Michael Jackson, but I guess we were with Tiger Woods. And I'll never forget that. If I don't have a friendship and a relationship with Greg, I wouldn't have got in. And y'all, I walked in that joint like, hold up, Charles Woodson and Ty, they were young. You know how they looked at me then. They like, damn, boy, my dude plugged up. So I'll never forget that, man. This is a long time ago, y'all. I don't know how long ago. But I got great memories with this guy. But he got a book out called The Ultimate Assist. And he's going to talk about the relationships and the things, the process of parents. And he also had two young daughters who've been through this process, Both of them went to major colleges. Both of them was great top players, and both of them went to play professionally overseas. And so he wrote a book about it. And when I saw the book come out, I thought about y'all, cause it's a process. All of us going through. We got some new parents on the screen yesterday. Were on at Ruck on the Woods that started watching the show just yesterday. Because guess what? We went out and saw and talked to their sons. And Jimmy had an event where their son, he dunked the ball. I played it, the young Raphael Moss. And so this is, y'all, so this is just, I'm telling you, get your notes out. Uh, be ready. Tell a friend. Tell another friend. This is a time you need to go into your text and text about 5 friends and say, "Man, y'all need to go." And if you go to the chop shop. What's up, Kenneth Gamble? Great for you. Great for Paul Miranda. Hey, y'all, listen to me. Taurus Lee, I want y'all to ask this man a lot of questions. This is the vice president of the Dallas Mavericks. Okay? He done seen and did stuff that we have never had a guest like this on the show. Okay, vice president, a senior vice president of the Dallas Mavericks. But Greg Nard will be on a little bit. Let me go around. Cause I got some stuff. I want to show y'all what happened. A little bit more happened over the weekend. They sent me the video of the 2022. I want to take a quick look at these guys right quick. Go on. Wait, who is that? Who is that? Y'all got to tell me who these guys are. Jimmy ain't here. Ooh. Wait a minute. I really like, who is that? Oh, no. I got to play that again. Y'all. I'm sorry. I got to play that again. I am so sorry. That's going to have to play again. Shanquetta, ask him about that, Shank. That's a good question to ask him, Shanquetta. It's Connor Miller. Who is this? Who is that little fella right there? I like him. Wait a minute, y'all. Who is it? Who is that? He finished with the left hand. Not, ooh, he caught. Ooh. Who's my man right here, number 10, y'all? Hayden Windsor. See that? What's up, Hayden? Oh, hey, man. Hey, thank you, Archie, for that, man. Who I know. Let me write these names down. See, y'all got me. Y'all got me now. See? Hey, I got me some more nephews. I got some white nephews too now. Told y'all. Hold on. We got Hayden Windsor. Wait, Hayden. Y'all humor me for a minute. Hayden Windsor. And we got Connor Miller. Connor Miller. Did anybody tell me who number 10 was? Brody. Who is Brody? Brody, let me write Brody's name down because I don't know who. Oh, you just call him Brody like that. Okay. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff, y'all. But hold up, I got a little history for us, y'all. And I want to share, like I said, not shout out to my prayers are to all my people and friends and family in Louisiana. The lights out and stuff like that. Reed Roberts. Let me write Reed Roberts a name down. Thank you, Anaisha. Reed Roberts. Yeah. But I really, my heart go out for him. I know a lot of stuff that's going on down there. But then the New Orleans Saints, if you're a football fan of the New Orleans Saints, they relocated to Dallas-Fort Worth the other night. The team staying in Dallas with plans on practicing tomorrow and Tuesday. Tuesday and Wednesday at Dallas Stadium. Returning to New Orleans, they said maybe It's tentative. Whenever they turn, their first game is wait a minute. They open at home in 2 weeks from today. Wow, against the Packers. Um, it's unbelievable, man. You know, and I was thinking about over the weekend, Connor Miller. Okay, thank you for Connor Miller. Yeah, yeah. Our hearts, my heart, and my prayers go up to the people in Louisiana, man. I know we've been there before. You know, your lights out and stuff like that. Oh, Brody Robinson. Okay, okay. Let me write Brody Robinson name down. Brody Robinson. Okay. All right. Uh, but I want us to do. I want y'all to remember. You know, a few days ago, Dr. Martin Luther King, the fight for the right to vote is just as critical of 58 years ago, uh, and is just as critical now. And a couple of days ago on this day, on a couple of days ago in 1967, the Senate confirmed and appointed Thurgood Marshall as the first black justice of the United States Supreme Court. A couple of days ago in 1966, the United States Senate confirmed Constant Baker Motley as a U.S. District Judge, making her the first black woman to sit on a federal bench. And and one thing I thought about today too, y'all, and I didn't say it yesterday. Uh, Students and teachers. What's up, Robert Wright? Students and teachers, y'all stay safe out here. I was praying for you last night, students and teachers all over the world, not just in Houston. Just please stay safe. I see the situations and some of the situations. We got a lot of educators on this feed. Y'all stay safe for us, because just you know, I don't know everything about this thing because I'm not a scientist, but something is going on that's out of our control, and you know, we got people, you know, just won't. Yeah, Brandon, I've been thinking about you. Y'all don't understand. All weekend, that's all I was thinking about: the kids, the parents, and the teachers. You know, you got to understand that teachers have a place in my heart forever, because some of the best people in my life taught me stuff that I know, you know. And after I always try to do a little, if you hear me, I always try to teach and give somebody something, because I know how important that is. And and I'm just sitting out here. We in a society that we got a guy can come on national TV and come on the news and tell us uh, that slavery was a choice, and we still stream his music. You know what I'm saying? On you know, and you do what you want. You're grown, but I'm just saying we in a society where a guy can come up and tell you some disinformation, a lie. He said he Kanye West was telling people that slavery was a choice, right? And now we streaming his music and packing his the halls with. I mean, just some just ain't right. Kanye West. Uh, Go Google it. Uh, uh, it's just like the guy that came on and said, "I can shoot somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue, and my people can still love me." You know, it's crazy. Then my sister, she posted this the other day, y'all. And you know, when I see stuff like that, uh, she said, "Stop bad mouthing your people." You notice I didn't try to bad mouth him, the guy. I'm just. She said, "Wake up." She said, "We have Popeyes sell out of chicken sandwiches. We made Casamigos the number one drink, and help stores profit off of plastic crates as we're stacking up and hurting ourselves. Imagine if we put that same energy into supporting our friends." Maybe I need to repeat that. Sometimes I know y'all don't like to hear this, but we have Popeyes sell out of chicken sandwiches, right? We we made Casamigos the number one drink because we were rapping about it. Us, we're rapping about it. And George Clooney ain't gave nobody a dime. And help stores profit off of plastic crates because we TikToking in it and we doing. You know, we got Walmart in front of their stores. They stacking plastic crates up so you can go and buy them and step on top of them and hurt yourself. Imagine if we put that same energy into supporting our friends. Just imagine. It's just a word. It's just a word for the day. I mean, just thinking about, I see the high school basketball transfer again. We got another Dallas guy from Pinkston, Dallas Pinkston, named Dink Pate. Oh, that's the dude they call Dink. Okay, transferred to Prolific Prep. It's a lot of stuff going on. Paul Miranda, help me with something going, for real. I ain't worried about all this other stuff. But help me to tell me what's going on. Why the DFW and not H-Town? Ain't y'all closer? Oh, I got you. I like that, Paul Miranda. Let me see. Let me bring Jim in here. Hold on. Let me see what you're working with, man. What you got on? What you doing back there, Jimmy? Let me see what I got you. Let's see what they're doing to you in the background. Okay. All right. I got you. What's going on, man? What you looking like Gilligan on Gilligan's Island? Hey, hold up. And look what I got behind your boat behind you. Man, you watched the TV. You went and put that hat on after you watched the show already. Huh?
No, I didn't.
What? Can you push the screen back? You're so close to the screen. Okay, just a little bit. Oh, you know what, Jimmy? Hold up, Jimmy. I might have a setting for that. Hold on, Jim. Hold up, man. I might have a setting that'll help that out. Let me see. Yeah, Jimmy. Look at, hey, don't mess with Robert Hat over here. I got a setting over here. I can do that. But man, Jimmy, you're right on time, man.
I'm right on time for the guest. I'm right on time for the guests. I'm good.
Yeah. Unique guest is coming on. But Jimmy, I was just sharing with him. Jimmy, I saw another Dallas player leaving the town. Dink. What his name? Dink. I heard. Let me get his last. Dink Pate. He transferred to Prolific Prep. Jimmy, I just want to know what's going on. What's going on, Dallas? And Jimmy, you might know because you be talking to people all the time. Shit, you just left from up there. And nothing against Dallas, and y'all know I'm not like that, man, because I love Dallas as well as I just live in Houston and would never live nowhere else. But it's just, Jimmy, they just constantly come. I guess they got all, I don't know. Somebody up there working, Jimmy, behind the scenes. Somebody like in the weeds like this here and trying to convince the Dallas kids to go to Prolific Prep, because everybody, Prolific Prep. What the hell is Prolific Prep? What is Prolific Prep, Jimmy?
I mean, it's an alternative to public school for a lot of kids, and they're going to their schedule yields them a few national games.
Okay.
And understand, and a lot of people, their first choice, they can get the Montverde. You just can't pick Montverde. They pick you.
Pick you. Okay.
Then the Oak Hills, ditto. You can't just pick Oak Hill. They pick you. And then you go around, you look at the Sunrise Christians and then the Prolific Preps. And so what happens is a lot of these teams and these programs are realizing that they are getting, they have competition now. And that is the overtime league. So the overtime elite. And that's competition to the high school prospects now. So now you have to go and get it, because if you don't get it this year, then overtime elite can possibly get it next year. In other words, it's going to be very difficult for, let's say, a Jalen Green to come back through and land that prolific prep the way that the current setup is. You know, because the objective and the thing that's being sold is to get your bread. And the thing is, a lot of people, what's going to happen is going to take about 3 years, 2 years, 2 complete seasons, turnovers, for the verdict to be out on what's going to be greater, the name, image, likeness route going through college, because it's a perfect setting to do so. You have Jalen Durham, you have Imani Bates versus the overtime elite guys who opted that route. Because obviously these guys had the options and they were first priority and turned it down, amongst others. So now we're going to see which route, because the numbers, the thing about it, money under the table is money under the table. You're not going to be able to measure that.
No.
That's people go get a bag of cash.
Right.
But the way that this current setup is, everything that you get is supposed to be documented.
Yeah.
That's the key. Supposed to be documented. And we're going to see, because it's public record, which is going to be the greater option. And in time,
and you're talking about just money wise.
Yes,
just money wise.
Yes, I mean, because that's what think about it. Is it going to be better? Think about it. It's both for a gamble. Well, overtime elite is the gamble. Going to college and capitalize on name, image, likeness is not the gamble.
Right.
That's the conventional.
Jimmy, method. I had a conversation with Greg Nard, the vice president of Dallas Mavericks. Do you know, Jimmy, and I don't know, he wanted me to say this. Jimmy, so I was talking to him about his book. Then I mentioned overtime. He said, what is overtime? The senior vice president of the Dallas. So the NBA, I know Nico would know what it is.
Oh, he absolutely.
But Nico, but Greg didn't know it. I showed, we went on the computer and I showed him what overtime was. He did not even know what the hell overtime was. So maybe overtime is not right now is important to the NBA right now because it's new.
Well, understand, he's in the minority of those that don't know.
But he's a senior vice president. Most people are not senior vice presidents.
I understand that. He's in the minority, though.
Yeah.
Doesn't speak. If you take a poll of the administrations in the NBA, I'm sure that the vast majority would have some knowledge. You know why? Because so many people who are working and who are involved with the upper management of the overtime elite, they are former NBA personnel. That's why, and
Jimmy,
everybody
Jimmy, they want to know what overtime. Could you let me tell you what overtime. All you got to do, if you can Google it, but we'll tell you what overtime is, Jimmy. I'm gonna pop up. This is what they say about themselves. It's the next generation of athlete empowerment. This is on their website. It's a transformative new sports league that offer the world's most talented young basketball players a better pathway to becoming a professional athlete and engage and inspire a new generation of fans. That's what overtime. All you have to do is Google it, and we're just going to give you a breadcrumb, Olga. It's just a league where young kids can go and get paid. 16, 17 years old can go, and they'll pay you to go to this league. Okay? Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you. So, Jimmy, our guest has arrived. So whenever I'll introduce him in a second.
Let's get it on. Let's get it in.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to introduce y'all to some a young man. Let me get his bio together here. Young man, I've been knowing, I guess, 30 years. He's a senior vice president of esports, youth basketball, and player relations for the Dallas Maverick. Greg Nard delivers more than 30 years of experience, sales and marketing of athletes. In one of the comments on his book, Jimmy, he got the great Michael Jordan. Just what Michael Jordan said, the tremendous knowledge and sage wisdom Greg provides is worth the price of admission. Michael Jordan, Hall of Famer. Then, and then he just said he's written a book that's highly readable, about how to raise kids in an era where sports are so important in their early life. It is of value to all parents. Then hold up, it didn't stop there, Greg. But Greg, I know you're in the background. I will bring you in a minute. Greg in the green room, they putting his makeup on. Then I saw this other comment, Jimmy, by a prominent man. A man that I know all of y'all. Well, I know y'all familiar with Michael Jordan, but this is the guy who pays Michael Jordan, still pays Michael Jordan. Greg Nard has written a highly readable book about how to raise kids. Okay, that's Phil Knight said that about how that's Phil Knight, the chairman of Nike. And the book is called Ultimate Assist. And without further ado, I want to bring in a guy that I call my friend. I mean, I've been knowing him for so long. Greg Nard, welcome to the Chop Shop, man. What's going on, baby? How you doing, man? That's Jim Hicks, my co-host. The high school basketball guru of Houston and Texas. He told me the other day, if it's come to high school basketball, just Google me. He gonna be the first name pop up at the top. So, Greg, man, welcome to the show, man. They don't know how proud I am to be able to have a friend for 30 years I could just call and say, man, come on the show. What's going on, man?
Hey, Bobby, man, good to see you. Thank you for the invite. Jimmy, man, I haven't met you, but I've heard some really good things about you. Again, thanks for allowing me to be on your show. All's good.
Greg, the ultimate assist. Greg, what made you write that book? Greg, you know I got to call you because I'm in the process of writing. And I got to call you. So, and I couldn't help. I said, man, I got to get, because Greg, this show we got Wesley Yates Jr. Greg, if you on your computer, look up, it's a little bubble to your right. It's a little bubble somewhere to your right. You can click that button. You can see some of the comments. Jimmy, you can You see it? You can see some of the comments. I told y'all earlier he was gonna call me Bobby. Greg, I told him, I prepared him. Hey, that's when you know me, when you call me Bobby. But Wesley Yates, his son is a promising high school basketball player. Won the state championship, one of the best players in the country. And we our people who follow us and listen to us, they're full of high school basketball, amateur athletes. And you seem like you wrote a book that's tailor-made just for them. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so the reason why I wrote the book, one, I've been working in sports for about 30 plus years. Yeah. Two, I have two daughters who play professional basketball, and two that I've trained personally. Yeah. With some help of other coaches. I didn't do it by myself, but help with other coaches. And then I coached basketball as well. So it was probably 6 or 7 years ago, I was coaching. I just moved to Dallas 7 years ago. A buddy of mine asked, hey, heard you did a little coaching. You coach your daughters. Would you be interested in coaching my little 5th grade girls team? I'm like, no, I don't have the bandwidth to do so, but for a friend, I'll do it for, maybe a season. It was 3 years later, I coached this girls team for 3 years. But what I found in those 3 years of coaching this 4th, 5th, 6th grade girls team was that going to the gym and going to tournaments every weekend, I saw some things where I could probably help. I can tell the story. So about 5 years ago, I put together a blog, and I started writing. I had about 12 to 15 topics I wanted to focus on. And then I pushed pause because I didn't have time to write the blog every month. So we fast forward to this pandemic. And instead of sitting on my hiney, I decided that I can work, but I had some time for the first time to sit down and get behind a computer and write a book. I always wanted to write a book, and this is hopefully one of about 4 that I have in mind. And the first thing I thought about was I need to give back, give some of the knowledge that I have in my experience of 30 years in youth sports. And that's what I did. So I took the 12, 15 topics from the blog, and I kind of created this book called The Ultimate Assist.
Okay. Jimmy, you got one?
Yeah, and I'm listening. He was telling us about the
Greg,
book.
but Greg, what was your what's the first chapter, Greg? Because I hadn't had a chance to read. Tell me what you started out with, because that's what I'm thinking about right now. What the heck do I start out with, Greg? Oh, I got you. Hold on, Greg. Hold on. I got something for you. Oh, Greg, go ahead. Watch this. Look. Hey, y'all, that book right
Awesome, Bobby, love it.
there.
So the first chapter is this parenting athletes, and that's parenting athletes is parents really understand your role and your responsibility. Mm-hmm. And it's so important because in my experience of really raising my two daughters, again, both playing professional sports, the way I treated one daughter, I couldn't treat my second daughter the same way. My first daughter, I could work with her for maybe an hour and 15 minutes, maybe an hour and 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then we would just collide. We would bump heads, right? And we would either she's going to get upset or I'm going to get upset as a parent in terms of just the respect piece. So I had to learn that I got an hour and 15 minutes with that daughter. Mm-hmm. My other daughter, the youngest daughter, Jamie, and I kind of talk about it in the book. The youngest daughter, Jamie, is I could have her in the gym for 2 hours, nonstop. Everything I told her or asked her to do, she would do it. And that's the difference. But I had to learn from two different personalities. Not every kid had the same personality. And I would say as a parent, that's one of the first things you got to do. You really have to understand and learn your kid. You know, we all think we know them, but you don't really know them until you're training them to do a sport, teach them how to play the piano, doing some other activity, or even just, study hall with your kids. So that's what that book talks about. And then it talks about, too, your role as a parent in the gym, right? So it's like, all right, here's what we fail to realize. And I'm going to put my coaching hat on for a second. When I coached at the University of Washington. My coaching hat, one of the things that we look at, as soon as we go into the gym and we're recruiting a kid, the first thing we look for, or first thing I look for personally is, where are the parents? And I want to watch them in the gym. I want to see how they're going to act. Are they going to be cordial? Are they going to treat other kids and say the right things to other kids? Are they going to respect the coach? Are they going to respect the referees? That's what was important to me.
Why you look at the parents? Just a college coach now. Why would you look at the parents? Why?
Because if the parents acted that way to the kids, to other parents, to the referees, they probably weren't a good fit for our program at the University of Washington. And that's the reason why we looked at parents. We want to see the whole package of that kid. Obviously, we know that they can perform at a high level on the court, but we want to make sure they're great people and have great core values. And something that I also talk about in the book in terms of just some goals and core values. Do they meet the core values of this university? And do they align?
And Greg, what's so unique about what you said is we have an acronym that we use for the parents who act up in the stands. It's called PGW, Parents Gone Wild. Because Greg, is so much stuff is going on with these parents. I mean, they think, but you told me something this morning that it's just been smacking me upside the head. Because I mentioned overtime to you, and you like, what the hell is overtime? And then that's number one. And then, Greg, you said a lot of this stuff we blaming the kids. But Robert, it ain't the kids. It's the parents and the people around them. What did you mean? If I want you to wait to talk to my people. It's so. What do you mean by it? Robert, is not the kids, but the people around them.
Well, it's. I'm going to just add kind of to what you're saying in terms of the overtime, and if you all know about what overtime is, but also too, you have the transfer portal in college basketball, college athletics, and the number of kids transferring from one school to the next. It's the highest number of kids transferring in the history of the NC2A tournament on both the boys and the girls side. And it's not just in basketball, it's in multiple sports. But to answer your question and what I meant about we're putting all the onus and all the responsibility and pointing fingers at our youth. They are not the ones who are kind of leading in the transfer, the leading in, things that are taking place in youth sports today. It starts at home. And it starts at home, and it starts in that community or in that village, what we like to say, that village. And it starts with the parents, it starts with the coaches, it starts with the folks at the high school. That's where it all begins. And if the kids they're just following the way they were told, right? As a kid, whatever your parents, whatever people around you, whatever the adults said, guess what? I'm going to do what they tell me to do. I'm a submissive kid, and that's how it should be, right? And I believe that's what's taking place. So we just have to, and one of the reasons why I wrote the book, Bobby, is this: how can we help clean it up? Clean up the transfer, clean up. But here, on the other hand, here's what I do understand: the P word, the pressure to play sports. And we've been, both of us have been, all three of us have been around sports for a very long time.
Right.
And the pressure to play sports today, and again, the pressure, one, from financial standpoint, from the parents. Hey, I got a kid who's playing. I'm paying a lot of money. I want to see my kid. I want to see high performance. That's what we're looking for from our coaches and everybody else out there, from the Nikes of the world, the Under Armours, the Adidas. They want to see higher performers, because we're spending anywhere in the ballpark of, I think the number is about $7,000 to $10,000 a year on youth sports and playing on the club side, not just, again, basketball, but across all sports. So again, we're just trying to clean it up. And that's what if we can do a better job of.
How do we clean it up, Greg? Somebody said, how do we clean it up? How can?
Yeah, that's a great one. That starts on coaching. There's some really good coaches out there, in my opinion, and I think there's some coaches that are out there who do it for the wrong reason. Some are not even qualified to coach, right? How many of you out there have seen coaches out there who are so unorganized and not in a position, right, to be coaching or leading an organization? And again, all you coaches out there, again, I'm not trying to call it out. I'm just saying we as grown adults have to be better, all right? So we can help these young group of great athletes from, again, across all categories. And again, the book is about preparing them for life after basketball.
There you go. Right.
That's what it's all about. So again, use what we call sports as a platform for these young kids to get better. And I think we as parents, we can do that. We can put them in the right place at the right time. And if we do that, we get the right results.
Greg, Jimmy, I want to help, because I want people to know, Greg, one of your daughters was one of the top players in the country at one time. Because I remember I remember had commercials. They was talking about it. Tell us about that journey. You just didn't have no regular daughters now. Tell us a little bit about it, because I want people to know your story a little bit. Huh?
Yeah, so I have two daughters. One daughter, my oldest daughter, Jackie, she played at St. Mary's College on the West Coast Conference. One of the top players ever to play on the West Coast. You can probably look at a lot of her numbers. Her senior year, one of the top 5 scorers in the country. And then end up playing, she plays pro for, I think, 2 years, 3 years overseas. And now she's the assistant basketball coach at the University of Oregon. Last year, and she just took on this job. Last year, she was assistant coach at the University of Arizona, who went to the national championship and lost to Stanford. Right. And then my youngest daughter is a professional athlete, and it's who Bobby is referring to. Her name is Jamie Nard, and Jamie played at University of Tennessee. A high-profile player coming out of high school. One of the top, I think she's number 8 or 9, I think. in the class, but just, she got kicked out of a league, a boys' league at 7th grade because she was a female, because she was really good female basketball player.
Man, go tell the truth. She was killing them boys, but keep going.
She was killing the boys. But guess who got upset?
Who? The parents
got upset.
Yes.
Yeah. They're like, all right, she needs to go play with the girls. And keep in mind that the same league, the same locations, she's been playing against boys for 3 years. And then all of a sudden they decided that this is time for her to stop playing with the boys. Right. So it was all over Good Morning America and around the country in different news outlets. So that's my 2 daughters. Again, it's, if you talk to both of them, you'll get 2 different stories in terms of how I parented them as a dad.
Right.
And I think for the most part, I think they will both say, the oldest one took the grunt of it, right? So again, because you know why? I didn't have a guide out there.
Right.
I didn't have somebody to tell me, you know what, this is how you do it.
Right.
I did it Greg's way, and Greg's way wasn't the right way the first couple of years of working with Jackie.
Right.
And I was that coach who, as soon as she got her dad, as soon as she got in the car, guess what I would do?
What?
But all in her ear.
Wow.
She's 3rd or 4th grade. I had to clean that up. I'm like, all right, she ain't listening to me, right? So, and then I went to a couple of different seminars about parenting and kids in youth sports. And I learned a ton. And I learned from a great group called Positive Coaching Alliance that kind of walks you through it. Now, you all may say, may look at the Positive Coach Alliance and say, you know what? Man, we ain't doing that. That's just the nice way to do it. But I think there's a combination of, one, you can still build some mental toughness within your kid, but you can still do it the right way as well. And I think that's what we try to do. Hey, if you look at me, I always tell, don't let the smooth taste fool you, because you know what? Hey, I'm trying to step on your throat just like everybody else is, right?
Hey, y'all. Hey, for real. He over here all eloquent, boy, as a killer right there. But Jimmy, what you got? What you got, Jimmy?
Now, in coaching your daughter and coming up and coaching them, have you ever been in a situation where there was a parent on the team that appeared that they were attempting to poison the mind or to serve as a cancer to the rest of the team? Have you ever been in that situation? And if, for parents that are watching, what are some ways that you can detect that and diffuse it before it's too late?
Jimmy, it's a great question. First, I've only coached my daughters on a team for 1 year. And I did it at the 7th grade year for both of them. And I only did it at the 7th grade year is because I didn't feel at that time in my life that I could coach anything younger, right? Just because I needed a little bit more advancement. So I only coached them that 1 year. And I didn't want to coach him. I could coach, I'll tell you this, Jimmy. I could coach my youngest daughter, and I could coach her on the team. I could not coach my oldest daughter on the team because either I would have killed her, or she would try to kill me. That's the relationship that we had. We got a great relationship, but she just has a different mindset and a different mentality. But here's the only thing I'll say is about, and again, I don't have a lot of experience, Jimmy, on the coaching and coaching your own kid and getting different feedback from different parents. But the biggest thing I could say is if you're the head coach, and this is what I've learned, if you're the head coach and you have a kid on the team, the assistant coach should be the one who's correcting your kid most. And that's what I would say. That would probably be the biggest and the only thing I could. And I would treat your kid just like I would treat any other kid on the team. Mm-hmm. And then the third thing, I guess I said one, but the third thing I would say is, and I heard this from a coach of mine who I really respect. Mm-hmm. and this was interesting. He said when they were away from home, in the gym or at school, his daughter called him coach. When they got home, it was dad. When they got into the car, it was dad. They never talked about any sport once they left the gym or once they left the school. So again, those are just a couple examples that I have heard. I don't know them personally. That's a different dynamics when you're coaching your kid. Great question.
Now, you mentioned earlier talking to the kids, of course, in the car, and one of my beliefs is the ride home after the loss is one of the most important and sometimes detrimental conversations that a parent can deliver to that kid on the drive home after the loss. Have you found yourself in a situation before? And you mentioned a while ago that you were trying to talk to the oldest one, couldn't reach her on that drive home. What now, looking back on it, are some ways or some things to say or not to say in order to get to on that drive home?
Mm-hmm. Jimmy, it's again, you must have been reading the book, or if you haven't, you're yeah, thank you very much. But I think the biggest thing that I learned from my first daughter to my second daughter is that ride home, either win or lose. The ride home is, I do not bring up that. The only thing I say to those girls, and this is the God's honest truth, is I absolutely, when they're finished, they win or lose, no matter how they play, I enjoyed watching you play the game. That's what I always tell them. And I don't bring up basketball to them in that car until they bring it up to me. And here's what we all know as parents. They're going to bring it up, right? And if they bring it up to me, it gives me an opportunity to share a couple things. And I always share the positive first of, hey, here's what I enjoyed watching. Here's what you did well today. And it might be one or two things. And then then I got to tell, hey, here's some areas where I think you can improve for this next week, right? Not what you did bad, because nobody wants to hear what you did bad. Here's what I think you can improve on these next couple of weeks. And again, here's what I think you should work on in practice. Okay, your jump shot. I thought you were leaning a little bit on your jump shot. Instead, give me a little bit more balance. It's just minor tweaks that you're sharing with them. And Jimmy, you are right on, man. That you say something negative to a kid, it could ruin them, not only for that next week, but it could ruin them for the rest of their life. I just had a conversation with a lady last week who was a really good tennis player. It's the darndest conversation I ever had. And I was just telling her about the book. She was all excited about it. This lady was 65 years old, and her father's still living. She plays golf now. And her father got to a point where he was so negative with her. She gets on the golf first tee, and he starts saying, well, she's going to be that one person again. She can't close it out. And she remembered that from her childhood. And she goes right straight to her dad and said, Dad, leave me alone. Don't say another word to me. This is the lady's at 60 to 65 years old. I don't know what her age was, but somewhere. So again, what you say to your kid, you have to be very, very careful. And if you are not an ex-player in that particular sport, you probably shouldn't say much of anything because you're not very knowledgeable of the sports at a high level. And I say a high level, I mean, if you played in college, you have the right to say something to that kid. Or if you play in the pros, you have the right. You can help your kid. But if you played in high school, you probably can help a little bit, but you just have to be careful. And if I would always, again, it's the preparation for life after sport. And it's building up some great qualities and some transferable skills with that kid while playing a great game. Because the transferable skills in youth sports is, team player, work ethics, structure, discipline. You can go down the line of what is awesome about youth sports.
Greg, I'm just being convicted over here. Greg, I wish I had a book like this when I was coming up with my son. I mean, I'm gonna tell you. I mean, I'm sitting there listening to you, and I was just, because those words you say to them, you can never take them back, Greg. And Greg, I remember I used to how me and my son relationship got a little better when we were young. I was just see what happened. I made a deal with my son. Okay, I didn't want him to play basketball, Greg, because that's what I played. Greg, I didn't want him to play because I know what I was going to be hard on him. So when he was a football player, Greg, I was up there cheering. Yeah. Go, Robert, go. I'm not qualified to tell nobody about no, but he came to me. I'll never forget Rasheed Suleiman and J. Michael Reese. He went tried out for the basketball team with them, and they kept trapping him, and he couldn't play. And guess what they told him? You good at football, but you ain't good at basketball. So my son came home and told me, Greg, he said, Dad, I want to learn how to play basketball. I said, look here, man. I said, now, you know it's going to come it's going to come with some sacrifices. Daddy ain't playing no game. If I spend this time with you, I'm getting dead. I'm telling you now. So you better go explain those things to your mama, right? But I just, if I had a book like this, Greg, because I never forget, Greg, we were in the weekend that Trayvon Martin got killed, right? We were all in Orlando for the All-Star game, right? So I came in on what? I came in on a Sunday. You know, I used to like to get there a week ahead of time. I had a meeting on Sunday and on Monday. Then on Tuesday morning, he had playoffs in Houston, right? So I flew back to the playoff game. They played and they won, right? So when you play again on Friday. So Greg, after the game, the next morning, I had to fly back to Orlando for a meeting. I had a meeting. But I had to come back on Friday. But guess what was happening Friday night? I'm invited to this private party, Mary J. Blige party on Friday night.
So, you ain't turning that down.
I said, I got on that plane, go see my baby. I didn't think about no damn Mary J. Blige. But hold up. But Greg, after we lost, I never forget, he lost against South Falls, Caven Tilbury. Now, Greg and my crazy butt as a dad, I smacked myself a million times. After the game, he came over, talked to me, walked him to the car. I said, man, I can't believe I flew way back here just to see you live. Greg, I feel so bad by me saying that crap, but I said it. I'll admit it on national TV. I told my son, I can't believe I came back. You got to understand. Hold up, Jimmy. I flew out, came back, flew out, and came back, all within a week. Just to see my son play basketball, but I was so damn mad because I think he could have played better. Because the team depends, if he don't get 40, they don't win. You follow me? So I did. I said, man, I can't believe I miss Mary J. Blige to come back here and see this. I did. And I know, but I left the next day. But I know to this day, he probably remembers that mess. And I wish I had never came out of my mouth. I wish it had never came out of my mouth.
You know, Bobby, that's what we see every weekend. We see that. I recall a story. I'm coaching that 5th grade, 6th grade girls basketball team. We were a really good team, probably one of the best in the state. And we were playing another really good team out of Austin. And this one player who was really, really good. And she plays solid, but we just happened to beat this team. Mm-hmm. Her and her dad walk out to the car. Mm-hmm. Dad lifts up the trunk of his car. He's carrying her bag. He takes her bag and throws it in the back of the car. Now, the girl's sixth grade or 7th grade. Mm. Slams the trunk, jumps in the car. And I'm thinking, now, One of the top players. She's probably one of the top players in the state of Texas today. And I'm not calling out any names, but again, are we teaching our young people? Are we teaching them that this is everything? I just think that we have an opportunity to kind of lift them up, right? As we know, the mental health piece is so important today. And we saw it in the Olympics with Simone Biles. We saw it in tennis just a few months ago with Naomi Osaka. We see it in basketball with Kevin Love's talking about it. It's real. It's real because of the pressure that we are putting on these young kids. It's the parents, it's the coaches, it's the sports and fitness companies, it's the college side. How about the NIL? What kind of pressure do you think that's going to put? Again, additional pressure, right? Are we setting these young people up for life after sport? As we know, when it's over, and I don't care if it's at the high school level, it's at the collegiate level, if you get lucky enough to play at the pros, there's an emptiness that sets in when you're done playing sports. Why? Because you give your heart, soul, sweat, blood to the sport you're playing. And it's tough. So are we putting them in the right place? Are we putting in the right situation? Are we sharing the right information with them? So, Bobby, to your point, we all been there. I've been there. It's like, what? You stunk up the place today.
Yeah.
I was, and I had to stop saying that, but I did with my oldest. You stunk it up today. Yeah. Hey, or I would say a couple of times after you stunk it up, hey, how about let's go get some shots up right afterwards. This third, fourth, fifth grader. And that's insane. That's not the right messaging, right?
I hope some dad heard what I said. I just hope. I'm serious, man. That is, I mean, it hurts me like I was telling Brandy, and Sonya, it hurts me that I hurt him. Just listening to you, Greg, I mean, I've been convicted because me and him, as he got grown, and we talked about it. He said, Dad, but I just wish, because you can never get those words back, Jimmy. And I just wish Mark Bryant tried to teach me long time ago, but he didn't give me. We were in the gym and me and him was going at it. He was younger, but guess what Mark Bryant told me? He passed by me. He said, Hatter, hey, do the drills with him. Don't just have him doing them and you chastise. Do them with him. He whispered it in my ear. And I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I'm like, man, get the hell. You know what I'm saying? But all he was saying is, if you sharing with the kid, it's a lot better than you just out there barking out orders. Why don't you go to do the layup drills with him? Why don't you do the drills with? And it never processed to me until later in life. I said, man, I wish I'd have took that advice. I wish I could have took that advice. So it's that's why, Greg, when I saw that book, I said, man, it's some daddies. See, I didn't have that book. Greg Nard didn't write that book 10 years ago. If he had it, boy, hey, I would be feeling so dang bad right now. But I'm getting over it. But you just never want to hurt the people that you love that much. And you don't realize you're hurting them. You trying to push them. Yeah. I wondered if he realized, dude, your daddy flew out of town and flew back for your first game, flew back out of town, and flew back for your second game. Don't too many daddies do that. He finally told me in college how I went to Greg, I think they had 28 games a year. I went to 26 of them. He said, Dad, no other parent went to every game like you did. Mm-hmm. No other parent. For 4 years, you were there wherever I'm at. He said, I got stuck in Ithaca, New York. 2 weeks is a blizzard. You couldn't get out. I still got hey Jimmy, I'm like Jimmy. I still got the receipt from that hotel. They didn't give me no discount, Greg Nard.
They didn't give you a refund?
No, they didn't give me no refund. They said, you stay, you here, you pay. You stay, you pay. But Jimmy, what you got, Jim?
Now, One of the parents just posted on social media they're watching the Chop Shop, and he says about in regards to the ride home, and I'm going to say a lot of you guys out there that are watching right now, we're going to ask you to share the show.
Yes.
How about if you take out the time to share the show right now? If you're on our Facebook feed, you're in the Boom Boom Room, share it to your timelines, share it to your stories, share it to your person, to your allies. If you're in the YouTube watching us right now and you're part of the YouTube Boom Boom Room, take out the time, share the show, give us a thumbs up as well. And here's what Mr. Jacob says about the ride home. Yes, it is, meaning that it could be very helpful or detrimental to the psyche of your kid. He said, I almost broke my son's spirit and love for the game on a ride home after a loss when he was only 8 years old. He cried and said, Daddy, I don't want to play anymore. I learned immediately to leave him alone, and I then handed him over to a new coach. These are the types of therapeutic testimonies that can help many of you that are watching right now. It ain't no problem, ain't no shame in this game right here.
No.
I've seen it. I've walked up on parents who had physically abused their sons after a ball game in the restroom. I've seen it in the parking lot. I've seen this. And often we turn the other cheek because in today's society, it's like a lot of us been taught, mind your business, stay out of other folk business.
Okay.
And so we'll move on down the yellow brick road on this stuff. But this is really serious. And I'm going to ask you, Coach Nord, what should we do if somebody sees this? I mean, think about it. It could be, you don't go up and just grab the man. I mean, what can be done?
Pray.
In this situation?
Greg.
If you see somebody and they're going about after that loss, yanking a kid on the arm, come get, you saw it, because they think every game nowadays, every game is sometimes it's live streamed. And the fear of the unknown that every college coach in the world could be watching you. You failed. I paid all this money to come see, and what is it? Anything that a person, if you encounter this once again, what can be done?
You know what, Jimmy? Just a couple of thoughts here. Great thinking thoughts on your part. One, it's again, know the time and place, and to have those conversations as a parent. Someone mentioned it I think it was Ola who mentioned it in the comment side here about you just don't know who's watching. You have to be careful because it's not just college coaches who support those college programs, but it's alumni and supporters all around the country. For example, in Texas, some of the biggest supporters, alumni in the U.S. Around the country. So you don't know who's watching. That's first and foremost. But two, what do you say? First, I would say be careful because again, they're in the heat of the moment. But if you get an opportunity to see them when they're calm and they're cool, you may want to say something to you if you have some sort of a relationship. Or the third thing is I would maybe have a conversation with their coach, coach of that player. And we just, Jimmy, to your point, man, we got to do better. Okay. Or if not, the next 10 years, 15 years, when we become, grandparents, and it's going to be a mess out there. Or there won't be any sports for people there won't be any sports. I don't know what's going on. But I'm saddened by the fact that our young people are, and it's translating back to collegiate basketball where kids are in high school and middle school are going from one team to the next team to the next team. That's real. I think it's a part, Jimmy, it's a part of everything that you just talked about. And I think if we got to clean it up, we got to clean up the college portal. We got to help our young people understand just the importance of, hey, make a commitment. Okay, because this commitment, you got to make a commitment in life. Now, here's what I do know. And I know that things are not like it used to be when I grew up, when everybody was loyal. And I understand too that finances are coming into the picture. And now with new NIL, that helps a little bit. So things are changing a little bit, but it's still, we all have a responsibility, and parents, you're going to help. By the way, I see my guy, Coach Corey Henderson, out there.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Coach. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, he's on. And Greg, B. Scott, Greg, could you give him how to get the book? Is it a direct way we can get the book directly from you so it won't have to go through, like your thing so we don't have to go through Amazon? Because I'm tired of giving Jeff Bezos all this money. So I'm the only person who don't order from Jeff Bezos. So is it a direct link we can get it from you and it go in your account?
Yeah, thank you, Bobby. And now here, I didn't write the book for the money. I wrote the book because I wanted to give back.
Yes.
In order, if you want to go directly to an account of mine, go to gregnard.com. And then you'll get a chance to learn a little bit more about who I am. But two, you'll get a chance to order the book from gregnard.com.
Yeah. I need to know that, Greg, because I keep seeing Amazon pop up with your book. I said, Jeff ain't getting another cord out of it. He got enough. But B. Scott asked a question for she said, how do you motivate an athlete to pursue other opportunities if it's not looking good for them to go to the next level in their sport?
Another wonderful question. It starts at the young age. And it's hard. And I say it's extremely hard because for a long time, again, I'm going to put my dad cap on it for a second.
Okay.
I wanted my kids to have other activities. I wanted them to either play the piano, play an instrument, or do something.
Okay.
And you know what? I didn't push them hard enough to do so. And I wish I would have, because even to this day, my youngest one's over playing in Russia this year. And, she has some hours on her hand.
Yeah.
Learn something. Go buy you a keyboard and learn how to play the piano. Find an instrument. Play the guitar. Do something, right? It's something you can do. Learn a different language. But I would say if you can convince them to do it in a young age. And we tried with my oldest daughter to play the piano. Just an example. Mm-hmm. And after about 2 years, she's like, "Oh, I'm good. I'm going to focus on basketball." So it's extremely hard. Okay. And it's hard because the time and the commitment that it takes to play that one sport. Now, I would say this now, and this is important information to know, is allow your kid to play multiple sports for as long as you can. Mm-hmm. Okay, and don't let a coach convince you that this kid should play that one sport. Mm-hmm. And here's the reason why I say that. And this is our trainer, Casey Smith for the Dallas Mavericks. He oftentimes he shares with our team, our youth basketball team for the Mavericks, share with parents just the importance of playing multiple sports. Why? By the time, if they're lucky, to play at the professional level, their bodies are already beat up. So you're wondering, if you're a basketball fan and you're wondering why players are taking off these days during the season, it's because they have to. The body can't last for a whole season. And it's because, I remember, Jimmy, I bet you remember this too. When we came up, we played multiple sports, one. Number two, we played for the season, right? We play just for the basketball season. We go to the next season. We'll put that basketball down or football down for a while, and then we go to the next season. Players today, and I know this for a fact, they're playing 11 months out of the year. They're playing 10 months out of the year. I just remember back in the day when Jordan was playing, they took off three months.
Sure
I need to rest my body, need to rest my mind.
Yeah.
So that AAU coach who's out there, and I apologize if there's some out there, don't
That's
take
all
it
right.
personally. But the reality of it is the kids shouldn't be playing. They shouldn't be playing, and I kind of talk about it a little bit, but I don't believe that they should be playing. High school season ends in February. Then they go right back at it in March and play for 2 months. And then you want them to continue to play the most important time of the year, just in basketball, is what, July?
Yeah.
So your kids should be peaking twice throughout the year, in February and in July. That's when your kids should be peaking, right? And that's my experience. That's a personal deal for me because I want to rest. I want my daughters to rest their bodies and rest their minds so they can be so excited to play the game that they love, right? So AAU coaches, if you're out there, I don't mean to step on your toes, but we got to take care of their bodies. Their bodies are not mature enough to play year round at this level.
Now, here's the question. A lot of the reason that we see the year-round lure for these young student athletes to play one sport is the sale. You have a buyer and a seller in every market. Economics has come into play in a lot of the youth sports that was to a level or to a magnitude that was not there in our years of coming up. Meaning that, for example, nowadays you have the trainer or the person that's working them out or the developmental coach, and their lure is you need to get better, so you need me every day that you're not playing. And that means, so now if you go play something else, parent, then you're being influenced that you're not going to get the maximum out of what you're pursuing on in this particular sport. So what do you say to the parent who's at a crossroads as to what to do when one, it's like, remember Fred Flintstone? You had the kazoo on one shoulder, and sometimes he would have two of them on another one on the other shoulder. Okay, what do they do? I mean, because that parent is going to trust and believe that that person who's caretaking for their young kid, or in some elements, it's basically essentially a daddy daycare, meaning that you go and you pay him a buck for a week, and they're gonna sit there and just just babysitting your kid. What do you say though when that person is being influenced that they do it around?
And that's what Jimmy, you're spot on. That's what happens. It's the AAU coaches. It's even the high school coaches at times. Again, they want to get better as an organization, right? They want to generate additional income, as you spoke about. But the reality of it is, we as coaches, and there's a coaching appendix in the back of the book as well, and it's not very long, but it just talks about just one. It talks about the relationship of the coach and the player. The coach and the parent, which is a great partnership. And I think it's spot on. You have to have a great relationship with the coach and also with the trainer. So, and then you have to lay out a plan. What's your plan for the year, right? And make sure that in that plan for the year, that guess what? You don't deviate from rest. And someone wrote in the quote, and I don't disagree. The reason why there's all the injuries today is because of not getting the proper amount of rest, period. And that's what we're seeing on the NBA side. So I think it's up to people like Bobby Hatter and Jimmy Hicks that talk about this on your podcast, the importance of kids taking care of the body. A good friend of mine, Lonzo Mourning, he says your body is your business. You got to take care of it. And that means not only as adults, but as our young athletes as well. And it's our responsibility as parents to make sure that we take care of our kid and treat that kid like a gym. right? Keep them polished, keep them ready, keep them excited.
So you just like you do your car. I mean, literally, you ain't gonna run. You ain't finna get on that and try to drive to Houston if you don't have this. If that you don't have that thing checked up and have the fluids and all that. So it's just I understand. I used to have this thing. Soon as AUC season over with, summer, we always took 2 weeks off. He don't do nothing. Let's go play golf. Cause I mean, he was so fragile. He always getting hurt any damn way. So, dude, let's just rest. That's why he could never make it to the Ruck on the Wood. Jimmy got this little summer. My son was at the end of the season. He played so dang hard. He's always hurt at the end of the season because he done gave all he can give to win. So for 4 years in a row, he show up in a cast one day, a leg hurt one day. For 3 years in a row, he show up. He can't, but he show up to support his friends. But he just could never. But we learn of the process, Greg. Like you said, the process of resting and recovering. It's called rest and recover.
And that's just not just your body, but your mind as well. And Olga makes a great point. Trainers are trying to sell you different packages, right? They do. That's what they should be doing, right? But the reality of it is, there's not one trainer out there that I know that I've ever been associated with would not be able to work a deal with you. They'll work a deal with you. So you're a trainer, and so instead of saying, "Hey, I'm not going to do it for the next 10 sessions, but give me 5," I guarantee you they'll say, "All right, come on." They ain't gonna walk away from money. Trainers, if you're out there, again, I'm not trying to. Trainers, I've been there before. Yeah. I understand. I'm not gonna walk away from money, right? As a trainer, so I've been there. So I'm not just calling you out by no means.
Yeah.
But now we have another statement in the Boom Boom Room, and I want to get your thoughts on this.
Okay.
And sports back in the days only used to be used only to teach our kids the game of life and not the game of becoming a professional athlete. Your thoughts?
And Greg, take a look at the clock, Greg, because I know you got to get out of here.
Greg say having too much fun. He say having too much fun. Well,
he think
Chop Shop would be like that. He thought the Chop Shop was something.
I can talk to sports all day.
The Chop Shop is like the Roach Motel. It's easy to get in, but hard to get out. Back in the day, hard to get
out. Man, but I love it. But because at the end of the day, what I care most about is our young people, right? I want them to fulfill their dreams, right? And it's us as parents and adults to help them reach their full potential. That's our job, and we got to do it there's a right way. I'm not saying what's out there is the wrong way, because there's some great things that are happening out there today.
Right.
There's some great coaches and trainers who are doing some amazing things today. There are. I know a lot of them.
Me too.
But there's a few we got to clean up, and I think through these kinds of conversations and you guys talking about them, more you can talk about it, the better. Jimmy, what was your question again? Sorry, I got excited.
I messed up.
Well, I was going to ask your thoughts on, like, back in the days, sports used to be used to teach the game of life, as you mentioned earlier, right alongside. But nowadays, it's like the sale is you want to be a pro. We can come on with us. We can get you to be a pro. It's a whole. See, now when you're thinking of the professional aspect, I'm playing little league basketball, and you're being sold the lure of, you play here, you're gonna get to you're gonna go to a Power 5 school just by playing with us. We're gonna go all over the country. You see, it's not. It used to be, well, you're playing, and you would go out of town, and while you're out of town, you're going to go and visit some of the landmarks in that particular city. I'm not just saying nobody don't. Not saying none of you guys don't. But then it was a real field trip.
Field trip, yeah.
But you got to play and hang out with your friends and spend the night in the hotel room in doing so. Now it's more so business. It's your brand. And when things aren't going right for a young teenager, that can zap all of the fun that's supposed to be a fundamentally essential element of this.
That's right.
Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's the stakes are high. The stakes are extremely high in sports, and it starts at the here's what I learned in the state of Texas. Been here for 7 years. The high stakes in youth and high school football. And then you go to the collegiate side. We know the stakes from Texas, Oklahoma, going to the SEC. How big are those stakes? Stakes are super high. And then if you're able to reach the highest stage, financially, it's just a different ball game than when we came up. So I do understand how difficult it is today to be in youth sports and to be a parent, right? And the pressures, again, I'll go back to the pressure. But, the reason why I wrote it is for the simple fact that we have to kind of don't forget to understand the importance of the life skills piece of it, the transferable skills of what this great game of whatever sport your kid plays. Don't forget about that, because we're losing it. And if we don't watch out, we'll have hundreds of cases like what we have seen from a Simon Biles or, again, Naomi or Kevin Love. That's what we're going to see. So are we preparing our kids for that difficult times? Because that's what's happening right now. Can you imagine your kid that these days, the pressure to play and pressure to compete and parents upset at you and your social media accounts and kids probably going at you from a social media account and telling you that you stink, and then you go into there's just so many pressures that take place. And we have to protect that gym of ours. And I think we can protect that gym, and it takes a village, and it takes, again, it takes hard conversations, in your community to kind of, I'd say, get back on track and just not lose perspective of our end goal. And our end goal is to bring our kids to become great coworkers, great people in the community, a great husband, great wife, a great son and great daughter. That's what we're here for. And if we don't forget about that, the importance of that, I think we're losing perspective.
Well, we thank you,
Man.
Greg. Listen.
Hey, man,
we know you got to get out of there. Jimmy don't know the time limit, and I know you got to get out of here.
Get out of here. I just had one thing I wanted to share with the parents. Of course, somebody asked, how can they, once again, how can they contact you about your book? And once again, they didn't get that information before. Share with them. How can they get in touch with you, or who do they email to get the book? And also, I'd like for you to let them understand your job title with the Dallas Mavericks. What decisions do you have direct oversight with up on the chain of command?
Yeah. So first of all, I report to an amazing CEO. Her name is Cent Marshall, and Cent has been with us for about 3.5 years. If you don't know who Cent is, I recommend, highly recommend that you YouTube some of her conversations and speaking engagements. Just an amazing woman. But what I do for the Dallas Mavericks, I oversee 4 different departments. I oversee youth basketball, which is our camps and clinics and tournaments and skills training. We touch about 20,000 kids a year. Esports, the NBA created a esports NBA 2K league. That's for gamers. And Cent asked if I would oversee that 3.5 years ago. So I've been overseeing our esports. So esports, it goes, the timeline is from April through September. And there's 6 players, 2 coaches, 6 best, some of the best players in the world, 2K, okay, who play the game 2K. And the other areas is I oversee player relations. In player relations, I'll be honest with you, that's when I first got a chance to meet Bobby Hatter. And that was 30 years ago, 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Bobby worked with Penny Hardaway, and I got a chance to work with Penny as well as his liaison between Nike and Penny. And Bobby was somebody who I got a chance to spend lots of time with. And Bobby he's awesome guy. If we play golf together, I'd normally win. So I'll throw that out there.
Man, you had us thinking man, you lost he whooped you in golf?
Greg, come on, Greg. Hey, I'm gonna pray for Greg. Y'all pray for Greg, man. Hey, that's just like somebody wished to be Tiger Woods. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. It's okay. Hey, but Greg, you know what? I did. You remember the time we were somewhere and Kevin Costner, we was playing ball with him?
Yeah. Kevin Costner. Final four.
The Final Four. If Kevin Costner had a nice little game too. He had a nice little game. And but I've been all over the world with this man. But Greg, give us that. I need to put that website on our thing. Give me the website again.
Okay, it's gregnard.com.
Oh, just gregnard.com. Yeah, I put that in there, and they talking about they couldn't put it up.
Yep, it's gregnard.com.
Nard.com.
And then the last area I also oversee IT, and that's a new area I've been overseeing for like the last 6 months. And I don't have a lot of experience on the IT side, but one of the reasons why I think Cent kind of allowed me to kind of lead that group is really from a leadership standpoint. So that's what I do for the Mavericks. This is my just finished my 7th season, going into my 8th year, and it's been amazing to be in the state of Texas first and foremost. So it's been a joy, big transition coming from Portland, Oregon. So appreciate all my new Texas friends. Jimmy, you're a new friend of mine.
Oh man, yeah. Great! That's good company to be in. I appreciate that. And,
yes, sir.
We had to get you back on and talk some more sports and drop some more nuggets to a lot of the viewers pretty soon. I mean, great job today, and I know a lot of people were out there with their pens in hand, scribbling notes all over the place. And thanks for everybody for tossing those questions to Greg Nard, the Senior Vice President of the Dallas Mavericks, on the Chop Shop today. Thank you, Mark.
That was for you, G Nard.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you later, man. I appreciate it.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thanks so much. Of course. Yeah, that was a great combo, guys. And as you see, guess what? Boom, boom, you never know who's gonna drop in. And that's how we rocking. Just getting you guys ready for a nice September when we're gonna, bring back a lot of things for you guys, and that includes a lot of guests that where you'll be able to enhance your knowledge and your understanding of a lot of things. This is a very therapeutic convo, and for those who haven't done so, share the show. Is really, that's part of the thing that's really important, is when you guys are able to actively share the show to proper places on your website, on your portals, on your pages. That's it. I mean, and guess what? Everybody's not going to get it because you share it right now.
Right.
I understand that, but guess what? Sooner or later, you never know who's going to drop in and just stop by and check everything out. We're on the back nine, and what I do with you guys real quick, and that
give
is
them that information you said you was going to give them about the top performers.
Yeah. We get right into Rucker on Wood, and what I do, this is now. I talk slow so that you guys can have an opportunity to share the show now. We are about to get into the Rucker on Wood top performers. This info is not on the website. Now, mind you, Jeffrey Day posted 2 articles from Rucker on Wood. That's our annual Open Gym series that took place on this past Sunday in Cypress, right outside of Houston, on the outskirts of Houston. It's an open gym, and what we did, we had college coaches on every bench. The teams rotated benches. You might have been home on court 1, visitor on court 2, then visitor on court 1, and home on court 2. That means every team got to play pretty much for different coaches. And they got to evaluate the players. And what I did after it's over with, the coaches would take the rosters and candidly select the top performers that they encountered throughout the afternoon. And then what I do is I combine those selections, and I take the top ones, the ones who had the most votes, so to speak, and this is how I derived that list. And of course, I added my picks into this list as well. So out of the coaches, once again, only the college coaches and myself, so you guys understand the disclaimer, I wasn't really paying attention to the games until bracket play. So pool play is just hit and miss. I saw a play or two, wasn't paying attention. I'm trying to make sure that because we're getting everything together, there's a lot of moving parts to make sure everything runs right. But in this situation, without further ado, I share with you in alphabetical order. We're going to go with the class of 2023. These are the 11th graders from Rucker on Wood, the 11th graders. In alphabetical order, I think we have a total. We have 21. And here are the names in alphabetical order of the top 21 performers based on the votes from the college coaches in combination with what I saw. So here's what the thing, like I said, once again, my disclaimer, I saw very limited pool games, only bracket. So that means if you played a bracket game on court 2 in the first round and lost that game, and I was positioned on court 1, then chances are I probably didn't even get to pay attention to your kids. I'm giving you a disclaimer. This is how it's just reality. That's why I say winning in this type of setting, and I gave a speech to the kids, is very important because the more you win, the more people will pay attention. So without further ado, player number 1 is Braden Biggett, 6'2" from Lake Creek High School. Congratulations. Carmelo Yakubu. Carmelo Yakubu.
Okay.
6'4" from Katy Tompkins High School.
Now, what class is this, Jimmy? Because I was
2023. These are the 11th graders.
Okay.
Chase Kane. Matter of fact, I know what you did. That's right, you wasn't there, but for a lot of people that was there, I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to do what I did last week, Heather, and I provided the jersey numbers of the kids as well. And so I do that.
Well, the reason you was doing that for me, Jimmy, because I was there. Yeah, I wasn't there this time.
Because you were there. But guess what? People that are watching was there, so I'm going to provide the jersey numbers. Okay. There's no problem. Braden Biggett was number 10.
Okay.
Right? Carmelo Yabuku was number 88.
Okay.
Chase Kane was number 75. Next up, Gabriel Alvarez. These are in alphabetical order by the first name. Gabriel Alvarez was number 17. He's 6'3" from the Heights High School. Alan, I like him.
6'1" from the Heights?
He's 6'3", and he goes to the Heights.
What's his name again? Gabriel what?
Gabriel Alvarez.
Jimmy, I know why you. Okay, keep going. You usually like the Alvarez's in the Rodriguez.
No, but here's I'm gonna go deeper with him. He has a chance, depending on his development and his performance over the next 16, 18 months, to become one of the best Hispanics to come out of HISD in the sport of basketball in a long time. We'll visit this. He has a chance.
Was he on the videos? Was he on? Did he get
I'm
captured?
not sure.
He
I'm
in
not
20
sure.
what?
He's on somebody.
He's in in 20 what? He 22. He's 23.
This is all 11th graders. All 11th graders.
All right. I'm just gonna keep talking. I'm just playing and see can I sing. You keep talking. You can talk over it, Jim. I'm trying to see do I sing.
He's number 17.
Trying to look for him. Looking for 17. Where he at? I'm just trying to find it. Just trying to find little Alvarez. Oh, I saw a 17, I think. That's it. That's it. Keep Jimmy, you could have talked over it. Yeah. I unmuted us.
So here we go. So next up we have Hilton Harris. Mm-hmm. Hilton Harris. Mm-hmm.
You ain't got his number?
Was number 34. Mm-hmm. He's 6'5" from Houston Christian High School. Next up we have Jace Posey. He's number 68. 6'4" from Straight Jesuit. He's the son of former NBA player James Posey. He's very athletic, very talented. Jace Posey. How about Jake Pike? Jake Pike, he wore number 85. He's 6'7" at St. Thomas High School. Next up, we have Jalen Lowe. He wore number 41. He's 6'1" at Fort Bend Marshall High School. That's the son of Marlon Lowe. Next up, Jamari McDowell. Jamari McDowell wore number 53. He's 6'4" from Manville High School. Next up, Jesse Fuller. Jesse Fuller is number 55. He's 6'6" at Concordia Lutheran in Tomball. That's the white kid who converted the alley-oop off the backboard at the end of on this video. Jesse Fuller.
Okay.
Next up, Josh Akpowa. Josh Akpowa. Akpowa. Let me tell you something. He was one of the top performers. He had more checks, he was one of the top vote getters of all of the players from this session. I'm dead serious. This young man, he wore number 56.
Okay.
He's 6'7" at Seven Lakes High School.
Okay, Seven Lakes got him one.
Seven Lakes got him one.
Okay.
And they already had a point guard that started as a ninth grader 2 seasons ago. So they have the anchors right there. Okay. Seven Lakes might be back.
Okay.
And I heard they got another transfer that came, and we'll put that news and share that news with you on tomorrow.
Okay.
Next up, Keanu Dawes. Keanu Dawes is 6'7" at Stratford High School, Stratford.
Okay.
And he's wore number 83.
Okay.
Kenneth Lewis. He wore number 49. Kenneth Lewis is 6'7", listed as 6'7". He attends Booker T. Washington High School, another HISD product. Next up, when we're listening to the top performers,
Booker T. Washington, Jimmy, you've been mentioning Booker T. Washington a lot. But
they're back. They're back. And next up, we have Marcus Melinder. His nickname is Smurf.
Oh, that's my dude.
From Clearbrook High School. And he's listed himself as 6 foot. I'm not sure if that might be on his tiptoes right there.
Okay.
But anyway, Smurf Melinder wore number 25. Right? Next up, we have Mason Howell.
Okay.
He's listed himself as 6 foot at Legacy, the School of Sports Sciences.
Why you say he lists himself? Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
He wore number 36.
I saw him on the video.
Next up is Runyo Obu. Runyo Obu wore number 31. He's 6'3" from George Bush High School.
Okay.
Runyo Obu. Next up, Sean Wells. He wore number 77. He's 6'7" at Spring Woods High School. Spring Woods, they got them one too, Al. Next up, Shea Eberwing. Shea Eberwing. Shey. He attends the Woodlands High School. He stands at 6'4". He wore number 90. Trenton Burns. Trenton Burns he's listed himself as 7 foot.
What?
He's at least 16 and a half.
If the man say 7 foot, he's 7 foot.
7 foot. In 11th grade.
What school?
At Cy Ranch High School. Cypress Ranch.
Man, he can play.
Let me tell you something. Adam, I'm going to tell you like this. Cy Ranch is already projected to be one of the top teams in the region in Class 6A, the top classification of all of Greater Houston, of all the state of Texas. Remember, they lost their starting point guard. Remember, Mason Docks decided to return to Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
So a playmaker is immeasurable with experience as Mason Docks had. Cy Ranch's progression through the postseason will rely heavily on Trent Burns, his ability to protect the rim and make plays, because he will be able to keep defenses honest as hell.
Jim, I like what you said, make plays, but I want him to protect the rim and rebound the basketball. That's what I want him to do.
What all that goes with it, and that included as well. But his ability to perform.
Okay.
And that's going to be a lot of pressure. But I'm saying that's going to dictate their progression through the postseason. Now, next up, we only have 2 left. He was the 19th of 21 11th graders that according to the college coaches, primarily, who performed the best. Next up, we have Tyshawn Archie. He's 6 foot tall at C.E. King High School. Tyshawn Archie, he wore number 11.
That's the guy I was asking about on the video.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tyshawn had the fro. When I told him he had the fro like the old group of Silvers back in the day.
Yeah.
And last but certainly not least, is a young man who wore number 64. And he also attends C.E. King High School. He's 6'5". His name is Xavier Ayeyemi.
Okay.
6'4", Xavier Ayeyemi from C.E. King. There's 2 players from C.E. King High School, and they could, they're gonna be pretty good.
Jimmy, how many projected? How many guys we're gonna get your projection right now out of this next class? How many guys gonna get? Not the 12th, not the 11th grade, this 12th grade. How many guys we gonna get go to Division I school, approximately, this year?
You mean the class, or that was at Rock on Wood?
No, out of the class. Just a ballpark.
If I had to do an assessment of 2023.
Okay. 22.
And that's a good.
I'm talking about 22.
No, so you're not talking about 2023 anymore. That's what we just talked about.
Yeah, I'm talking about 22. Because I'm trying to see who's going to college.
The class of 2022.
Yeah. They next up.
Remember, we will count Amari Abram because he committed to Texas A&M before transferring out.
Okay.
So he will go on our camp.
Okay.
Just letting you guys know, give me a disclaimer.
Okay.
He will go on our, not in our rankings list, but when the tallies are up at the end of the day, he goes on our camp.
Right. Okay.
And so
about
I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and Mason Dox committed before he left Houston.
Hey, what my man? Hey, Jimmy, give me something. Right.
I'm gonna say Hatter is going to be thin, but I'm saying this class, for Division Ones, it would be in the range on the low end of about 20 to 22.
Okay. Under 20 is a bad year.
Guys, it's going to be great though for the non-Division One programs.
Okay.
And because a lot of these kids are right there on the bubble. And the thing is, as they perform, because they won't have a choice, they won't have, a lot of them are waiting on Division One offers and not realizing that reality is here. The college football season has begun. So that means those campus visits, the official visits, whether you like it or not, every doggone home game is a gang of official visits will be on every campus. If you haven't been invited to a home game as an official visit in the next, either this weekend or the weekend after, or the weekend after for home, because everybody don't play at home. So that, you know what I'm saying? So during that first 3 weeks, every college should have had a home game in the first 3 weeks of the season. If you have not been extended the opportunity for an official visit, then chances are, if your official visit is scheduled for sometime in October, that's a red flag. Because if they get what they want from the kids who will be on campus before October, then guess what they're going to do to your official visit? They're going to cancel it. So the opportunity that a lot of people took advantage of, and some didn't, to participate in Rucker on Wood. And I'm explaining to you, and I said it yesterday, it don't mean everybody watched it yesterday. So I'm going to say it again. A lot of people who were influenced to not attend Rucker on Wood, here's what you squandered. You squandered the opportunity to audition your talents directly in front of various college coaches while they were sitting on your bench. You tell me the time that your kid ever played in a camp before where college coaches were on, active college coaches were on the bench coaching them. And every game, it was a different college coach possibly. You let me know when has that happened in your kid's life, ever. And I'll wait. That's what type of opportunities were. And you know what's going to happen now? As always, Hattie. You know what's going to happen? You can rest assured. You can bet your right pocket that once again, the innovative portion of this Rucker on Wood, you're going to see this type of action take place at upcoming camps all around, not just the state, but around the country. People are going to start encouraging college coaches to come and sit on their benches at their camps. It's happened before. I'm talking about, understand, I've seen it happen before. I'm talking about in this type, because guess what? The young fella, Mal Mundy in Louisiana. Remember, I went to Louisiana last month, earlier this month, and they had a college coach on every bench. Remember, and that kind of helped influenced Rucker on Wood. But and so that's credible.
Yeah.
That means, but that was, understand, that was limited to a certain amount of kids, right? That was for the very best in the state of Louisiana.
Right.
That was for the very best, regardless of grade.
So a lot of kids this weekend, they helped themselves a whole lot.
Oh, absolutely.
They helped themselves a whole lot, right?
Absolutely.
Because they even got me writing names down. You know, what if it wasn't for the Ruck on the Wood, I wouldn't know about Raphael Moss, because I hadn't heard about him over the summer. So it took so everything he done over the summer, I never heard of him before, right? So now I get to go to the Ruck on the Wood, and now if somebody called me asking about him, I can say, okay, this what I saw. So it's a unique tool, man, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to, your son to be able to go. And Jimmy, and I wasn't worried about the guys that didn't show up. I was just worried about, if you're not gonna show up, don't let you think they're coming. Call Doug and text Doug, say, man, I'm not coming. Never be a no call, no show. I know companies like Federal Express, they fire you on the spot for no call, no show. So just being responsible, especially in this business. Greg Nard just told y'all something. And don't y'all ever forget this. He said when he was at the University of Washington, he's in there watching to see what the parents do. Parents. I'm not going to let you forget that. When these coaches are recruiting these kids, they're watching the parents. I'm going to repeat that again, because y'all might think, well, I can do whatever I want to. He ain't recruiting me. Listen, parent, he's not recruiting you, but if it's up against you, your son, and you got another parent that's sitting over there nice and quiet and subdued, dude, they're going to pick, this stuff is competitive. They're going to pick the other kid. I'm just telling you. They recruit you. Yes, they are. They're watching you, parents. They're watching y'all. So let's be better at this stuff. So let's not hamper these young kids from getting their chance to go and play. And if they can't play, let's just make sure make sure that the SATs, make sure that their grades and their core grades and all that stuff is right. So guess what? If basketball, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, after 30 years in it, I've been knowing that man for 30 years who just came on this show. After 30 years in this business, the basketball stops. Penny Hardaway had 5 knee surgeries, 3 in one and 2 in the other one. But it stopped for him. What if he didn't get his degree? If he didn't get his degree, he wouldn't be able to coach University of Memphis. He can coach in the pro ranks, but not in the college ranks. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling y'all, don't forget the academic piece. Let's prepare these guys when they stop being able to dunk, when they stop being able to shoot a jump shot. The people going to throw them away. But our community, got to make sure they have something, because we want them to be great fathers. We want them to be great mothers. We want them to be great brothers. We want them to be great. So we want them to be. One of these days, I'm going to play tomorrow what I sent to Charles Woodson when I found out he got ejected to the Hall of Fame. I told him he was a Hall of Fame dad. He was a Hall of Fame brother. He was a Hall of Fame son. He was a Hall of Fame client. He was a Hall of Fame friend. Those the kind of things that this kid went from being, just like the rest of these young players. Now he's a dad. Y'all, it just makes you so proud. But let's finish this process out. It's not just about basketball. Not just about basketball. Not just about football. Let's make sure they productive. Guess what? Jimmy gonna have to be replaced one day. He ain't gonna do this stuff forever. Robert Hatter got to be replaced from the. I'm not gonna run out to try to sign. Matter of fact, I'm semi-retired. I'm not running after another athlete ever. No. So guess what? It's other opportunities for these kids to be able to be successful. That's all. Okay. And we gonna make it happen. We gonna make it happen because everybody's not gonna be the De'Aaron Fox. Everybody's not gonna be the Bryce Griggs. Everybody's not gonna be the Tyler Smith. So now we got to be able to say, wait a minute. When the ball stops bouncing, where we gonna be? And that's why I tried to plan and put our guys in this position where we're gonna be when the ball stops. Jimmy, what you got? Take us out of here.
Yeah, man, it's get ready time to land the plane on today's show. A good one, a great one, and you guys helped to contribute and make it that way. I mean, awesome day in the chop shop. Thank you guys, of course. The questions, you kept them going, kept them hot all day long.
Oh yeah, y'all was amazing.
And we hope that everybody's question was addressed on today.
And Greg just texted me, say he'll come back, Jimmy. You know, he just had a meeting today. I mean, he's senior vice president, y'all. He ain't got, you know what I'm saying? It ain't. Guess what? Greg, the basketball stopped for Greg. Greg used to play at Maryland. Greg used to think he can hoop. I don't know where he'll talk about that dumb golf now. I used to kill him, Jimmy. Jimmy, I don't know, Jimmy. I don't know why you be listening to them people, Jimmy. Jimmy, always remember, like I told a guy the other day, you good, but always remember I'm great. So that and that golf, I'm great. So, but that he just called and he texted me and said, man, he had a great time. He'd be welcome to come back. But it's unbelievable,
yeah,
man.
And of course, and we Lynn, of course, you guys know if you didn't catch the top of the show or whatever the news, Cam Newton was released by the New England Patriots. Yeah. Once again, Cam Newton was released just a few hours ago, early this morning. He was cut by the Patriots. Okay. And we'll get your thoughts on that tomorrow, give you a day to let it sink in. But one of the things, let it be known that Cam Newton allegedly has not been vaccinated, and that may have played a part in it. And also, another thing from what I'm gathering is that he basically, when the coaching staff decided upon the starting quarterback, Cam was unwilling to accept that backup role with New England to start the season. So it's one of those things where, let me go, and guess what? They had no problem doing it, or whatever bluff that he gave, they called it. And so now Cam Newton is available. And the thing is, the good thing about Cam is that, first of all, wherever he goes, he's not going to be an immediate starter. So that means he would have to willing to do like Jameis Winston did and go. He took a gamble on himself, went to New Orleans, and took 2 years for him to become a starter again. So Cam Newton is going to, guess what? He's going to show improvement. And at the same time, not many people going to feel sorry for Cam right now.
And Jimmy, he said don't feel sorry for him, Jimmy. But only thing I have a problem with is, Jimmy, why did he use this serial killer type font to say this? That's kind of, even Jamel Hill said that's a little disturbing. Why you use this? The serial killers use this kind of fonts, Jimmy. When they so come on, Cam.
That means to me that means you took out the time to deliberately go and purport your thoughts. And look at that. I mean, just think about it. That takes, understand it's a different font.
Take a lot of time.
But to go and think, like, let me go pick this font. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it takes time because your font is already formatted, right? So you went and say, I'm going to get this font. I'm going to get this to him. Unless Cam Newton, whom I don't follow like that, unless he's regularly uses that font. Now, if he regularly uses that font, then okay. But if not, then Cam Newton, you understand?
Todd said he's been using it for a while. But Todd, I still don't like it, Todd. I'm just saying. He could have used. But Jimmy, this for you. I was waiting on you to get on the show, but the guests were so good. I had something for you. Check this out.
His mother threw out the first pitch. I asked Mookie, did you give her any advice? And he said, nope, it's just like playing catch. And she went out there and she did her thing, guys.
And doing her
That's
thing.
Mookie best mom.
Doing her thing is always a thing to watch. Her It's Time for Dodger Baseball earlier this year, I think, was the best It's Time for Dodger Baseball.
Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah. And then he knocked one out of there, Jimmy. I just say that just for you, Jimmy. I'm sorry.
Mookie home run on his bobblehead night.
Jimmy, then he gave his mama this, Jimmy. He said, "Here, mom. Yeah, I like that." When the Astros do something like that, guess what? I would do it for. And Freight, quit talking about the mama thick. Man, take your little Freight's or something. That's a dirty old man right there. That's a dirty old man. And Walter Yates, congratulations to Walter Yates, Jim. Walter Yates, you missed the show earlier. I gave you a tribute. So go back at the beginning of the show. I gave you a tribute in the beginning of the show. He's moving to Indiana to continue his quest to become a Division I coach. Jimmy, I never knew he wanted to be a Division I coach. Now I see why he hate on the other Division I coaches. But no, I'm just kidding. But no, y'all make sure y'all look out for Walter Yates and give him a job. Jimmy, I'm sorry.
Congratulations to Walt on his endeavor. But at the same time, and because he's obviously this is a planned path for him to get into the Division I ranks.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you, all plans don't go as planned. So if you're depending on how many years or what's the time window that you're willing to invest in this endeavor and this move. What state you said is out again?
Indiana. The basketball state. The Hoosier state.
Okay.
Here, if y'all go to his YouTube, if y'all go to his Facebook, he had a touching he said it's a dream of his. And man, go do your thing, man. We supporting you. Whatever I can do to help you, you let me know. Go do your thing, man. And we'll see you on the other side. And guess what? And just hope you built up enough relationships with these college coaches or with the ADs so you can fulfill your dream of being a Division I college coach one day. It ain't but 350 something of those positions on the planet, Jimmy. So, boy, let me tell you something. You got you got your work cut out for it. But if anybody can do it, you can do it, Doc.
Yeah, and one thing about it, you got to go get some players.
Yeah,
you got to get some players.
No, he can do that. He know how to do that.
Yeah, you got to get players now. And so that's going to be the ticket, and he's going to be the coach out there of the prep school team. So that's if I'm not mistaken, the post grads.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think.
Okay.
I think that's what I heard him say. You can Walt, if you're watching, you can correct. And Kim Jackson say. Kim Jackson she just put a message on the Facebook feed for you guys on YouTube. She told Walt don't bring your ass back to H-Town.
Walter go. I promise you, Walter gonna devise his schedule where he can come back and mess with y'all on Wednesday. I'm telling you, I know him. He gonna do it. Y'all better leave him alone. But I'm so proud of him. And if that's true, Herb, if he take you with him, I mean, Herb, you got to get your hip right first before you get the moving around. Now, Herb, let's get you well first, Herb, and then you get out here and do your thing, man. But Jimmy, hey, it's 14 after.
Yeah, man, that's it, man. It's that time to slide down Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing on this Tuesday, and man. I'm just reading the comments.
Yates is crazy, man. Hey, I can't believe he just said that. You better leave Kim alone. Yeah.
I think I got the feeling this thread on the Facebook feed is gonna keep going all the way for another hour after we off the air.
Yeah. There's something wrong with them, man.
But anyway, guys, once again, it's time to slide down Dino's back and yappa dabba do this thing. Got stuff to do. Don't forget to go over to rcssports.com, rcssports.com, and check out today's VIP news. Good reading for you. Also, if you hadn't done so, check out the articles from Jeffrey Day, the recaps from the Rucker on Wood this past Sunday, as well as this all grassroots teams from this past summer. They're posted on the front of the website. You guys can check that out as well.
What you mean, all grassroots? I didn't get that, Jimmy. What'd you say about the all grassroots? Oh, he got okay. I got you.
Yeah, like an all summer team from the Greater Houston area who made it all summer. So you guys check that out. We'll be right back at you guys in 22 hours. But for now, Robert Haller, this Jim Hicks, we're up out of here. Share the show on your way out the door. Do that one time for us. Get that. Share the show on your way out the door. Thanks everybody for tuning into the Chop Shop and do your part. Oh, they say do your part, 3 Stacks. Do your part. We up out of here. Peace. Chop Shop.
Jim Hicks. Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live